Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the historic Healdsburg Prune Packers and Recreation Park, we welcome you to Art McCaffrey Field and at the Clarence Rodovera Stadium. Tonight, once again, we welcome the Lincoln Potters. They'll be taking on Healdsburg Prune Packers, established in 1921. Now let me introduce the starting lineups for both teams, starting with the Potters. At third base for the Potters, number 16, J.R. Freely. At shortstop, number 7, Cade Parker. At catcher for the Potters, number 13, Eli Small. Right field for the Potters, number 35, Jacob Doyle. Left field, number 9 for the Potters, Will Lindbergh. At DH, number 5, Cole Dillon. First base, number 2, Zach Chamizo. Center field for the Potters, number 3, Cole Eaton. Second base, number 12 for the Potters, Gus Gargett. The pitcher, number 19 for the Potters, Ryan Castillo. Lincoln Potters. Now the starting lineup for the Healdsburg Prune Packers. Left fielder, number 1, Robbie Henchuk. University of Oregon shortstop, number 5, Maddox Maloney. From Long Beach State, DH, number 23, Connor Sharpio. From Washington State University, first base, number 6, Joey Kramer. University of Alabama, right field, number 22, Camden Hayslip. University of Michigan, third base, number 21, Cole Caruso. UC San Diego, center fielder, number 11, Alex Leopard. University of Houston, second base, number 16, Jake Tatum. University of Arizona, catcher, number 13, Blake McDonald. And on the mound for St. Mary's, pitcher, number 18, Derik Eaquinto. Healdsburg Prune Packers. Now please rise for the singing of national anthem. Prune Packer royalty, Lisa Sinclair.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fantastic, Lisa Sinclair. Elmo Barbieri, her
Prune Packer and PEL baseball is back at Rec Park. After a few days off, a couple of road games the Packers came out on top of. We are back for a matchup between the top 2 teams in the Pacific Empire League standings, the Healdsburg Prune Packers and the visiting Lincoln Potters. I'm Griffin Snyder here today to take you through all of the action where we've got a very good matchup between these two. It's a 3-game series, away, home, away for the Packers. They picked up game 1 in Lincoln, a 9-4 score yesterday. Luke Harrison was great. Several batters, including Joey Kramer and others, with several hits in that one. Expecting more of the same from the lineup. And today it's going to be the left-handed pitcher on the mound, Derik Eaquinto. Derik hails out of St. Mary's College of California. I am very familiar with the left-handed pitcher who works the fastball, slider, and changeup all incredibly effectively. Today he is getting his first action with the Prune Packers, and as he told me before the game, his first action against live batters since the end of the spring season. Derik was a 2024 WCC All-First Team selection. It should be good to see him on the mound working with a former Gale behind the plate, the return of beloved Prune Packer Blake McDonald, who gets the start behind the dish. Should be a great one here between the Prune Packers and the Lincoln Potters. Exciting stuff getting underway here this Wednesday evening in Healdsburg. So Eaquinto finally mans the rubber, comes set, and delivers the first pitch to J.R. Freedy just below the zone. First pitch at 5:59 p.m. So J.R. Freedy, the leadoff man, switch hitter out of the University of Nevada, takes the second one as well. This time a called strike. Eaquinto already living in the upper 80s with that fastball. That's where he tends to be with it, but has great command of all three pitches. Does a good job using the fastball and changeup against the right-handed hitters. Does a great job with the slider against both sides as well. There it was there at 82. Gets Freedy to swing and miss. So he's ahead early on the switch hitter. Leaves that one outside. Freedy, a member of the Wolfpack so far this summer in PEL play, batting .314 with a home run and a couple of doubles. Leading off and playing third base today for Lincoln. Lifts the 2-2 to the right side. Kramer giving chase. He is looking to stay in play. Call appears to be that one was out of play. Checking out what the first base umpire is calling over there. Kramer did come down with it, tumbled across that out of play line. But the first base umpire saw him go over and back, and that makes him out of play as well. So that's a dead ball there. Freedy gets away with one, stays alive. Coach Gomes is going to talk about it with our first base umpire. Coming into today, Prune Packers sit atop the Pacific Empire League standings with a 16-2 in league record, facing off against that Lincoln 8-6 record. The first base umpire incredibly confident in his call, so Coach Gomes heads back to his own dugout. We'll see another 2-2 from Eaquinto against Freedy. Packers currently sitting atop those standings. The Potters just 6 games behind Healdsburg. This time the fastball at 89 from Eaquinto misses off the inside part of the dish, and Freedy has worked a full count early on in this one. And then fouls off another fastball offering from Eaquinto. A great early battle from Freedy. Going to make Eaquinto work early. It'll be interesting to see how long Gomes allows Derik to go in this one, considering it is his first action of the summer. The southpaw misses up and away with the fastball, so Freely draws a leadoff walk to start off the action. Good at-bat, good plate appearance there from the member of the Wolfpack, and that's going to set up his fellow left side of the infield member, Cade Parker. He'll be followed by Eli Small, Jacob Doyle cleaning up, Will Lindbergh in the 5-hole, Cole Dillon, the designated hitter, in the 6-hole. Zach Chamizo playing first, batting 7. Cole Eaton batting 8th, playing that 8th position in center. And then the lineup will be rounded out by Caius Gargett out of Kentucky. He's the 9th batter in this Potter lineup. So Eaquinto gets ahead of Parker, an 0-1 count.
Lefty, go get him high now.
We'll go ahead and check on Freedy. A light toss over to first. Eaquinto will work that pickoff move often early on before he sets him up for his A move. Parker batting .233 in PEL play. A couple of home runs as well. Hit a home run his last time at Rec Park in that Prune Packers win a couple of weeks ago. This one Gets away from the second baseman, Tatum, and Freethy swipes second base. Good jump from the leadoff man, moves him into scoring position. And the count is even against Cade Parker out of Georgia Southern. Yesterday, Parker was 1 for 5 with a couple of strikeouts. And have a little bit of a better day today. Went 2 for 4 on the third against the Packers in that 8-7 Healdsburg win. Eaquinto falls behind 2 balls and a strike. Correction. No correction. 2 balls and a strike, we believe, is the count. So Freethy now leading in scoring position at second base. Parker lifts this one to the right side, but shallow off the end of the bat. And Kramer takes it in for the first out this evening. Going to take you through the defensive alignment now after Kramer made that play over at first. In the outfield today is Robbie Hamchuk, Alex Leopard, and Camden Hayslip. And then on the infield from left to right, Cole Caruso, Maddox Maloney, Jake Tatum, and Joey Kramer, who just made the play. And as I mentioned, the battery, Eaquinto and McDonald, spent a season at St. Mary's together a couple of years ago, so they are very familiar working with each other. McDonald, of course, transferring to the University of Arizona this past spring. Spent the past several summers here in Healdsburg with the Packers, and now Eaquinto is back into the zone against the catcher Eli Small. He gets ahead, no balls and 2 strikes the count with 1 out, and Freethy leading over at second. McDonald couldn't quite hold on to the foul tip there on the fastball from Eaquinto. Packers rocking the camo look today against the Potters powder blue. Eaquinto keeping an eye on Freethy, delivers the pitch, slider outside. Small does a good job leaving that one. It was an attempted chase pitch there from Eaquinto. You don't see too many of those from the left-hander. He likes to go into the zone a lot, even when he's way ahead. There it is again, though. That slider just missing low and away. An easy take there for Eli Small. It's good to see McDonald back in the lineup behind the plate. He's been dealing with a little bit of a hip issue, but everything's all clear now. He's back in the lineup. Small flares this one into left. On it is Robbie Hamchuk. San Jose State Spartan, or formerly San Jose State Spartan, makes the grab for the second out of the first. Hamchuk, the latest member of the Packers to enter that transfer portal. Incredibly popular in the year 2024, and you can only expect it to continue this way with the current landscape of NCAA sports. Eaquinto starts off the cleanup hitter Jacob Doyle with the slider for a called strike one. Doyle, similar to that runner in scoring position, Freethy at second, also hails from the University of Nevada at Reno. Flares the 0-1 off foul to the right side, and he's quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes. This is what you expect to see from Eaquinto. He walked Freethy and fell behind Parker, but attacking the zone is what Eaquinto has done the past couple of springs for the Gales in Moraga. I've been witness to many of those starts. It's another one, 0-2 fouled off, and that's what you expect to see more of. Eaquinto attacking the zone even when he is in the driver's seat. Talk about it more in the home half of the first when this Prune Packer batting lineup gets to come up to the dish, but a lot more continuity being seen out there at those defensive positions. Infield's been pretty set for most of the summer. And in the outfield, you got guys like Hamchuk and Hayslip who have really solidified themselves in the corners of the outfield, done a great job at the plate and in the field all around. Down on The slider from Eaquinto. Doyle swings and misses. So he gets himself out of the early jam, leaves Freethy stranded at second. The Packers look to strike first in the home half.
Came out of the first inning for the Prune Packers, left fielder number 1, Robbie.
Robbie Hamchuk will lead things off for the Prune Packers. He'll be followed by Maddox Maloney. Designated hitter Connor Sharpio in the 3-hole, then clean up Joey Kramer. Batting 5th is going to be Camden Hayslip. Then it's going to be Cole Caruso, Alex Leopard, Jake Tatum, and of course making his summer debut in the 9 spot of the order, it's going to be the catcher, Blake McDonald. Hamchuk takes the first one from today's pitcher out of the University of New Mexico. That is Ryan Castillo. Hamchuk grounds this one to the third baseman, Freethy, who backs up on it, makes the throw. The leaping first baseman, Chamizo, applies the tag in time for the first out of the home half. Great job defensively that time by the first baseman, Chamizo. Saw that throw coming in high. He's actually stretching out that glove hand shoulder. Maloney goes up aggressive as well, swinging at the first one and fouling it off. Castillo currently rocking a 7.5 ERA this summer for the Potters, an 0-1 record. This is his 5th start and 6th appearance. Strikeout numbers are high, but so are the walk numbers. This one, a rolling ground ball to the shortstop, Parker, who retires Maloney, and a couple of ground balls to the left side. Get Castillo off to a good 2-up, 2-down start. Looking at Castillo's numbers from the spring for the Lobos of New Mexico, a 1-3 record in 10 appearances, an ERA close to 12 at 11.95, but more of the same, just those strikeout numbers being incredibly high considering the innings pitched. 22 strikeouts in 20 1/3 innings of work in Las Cruces, New Mexico. This one taken outside by Sharpio. Count evens up at 1-1. Sharpio, one of just a few hitters that didn't have a great day yesterday in Lincoln as a part of that 9-run effort. Chops this one to Freethy, who backs up on it and not able to come up with this one on the left side of the infield are the Potters. And Sharpio reaches
Now back at Washington State University, first base number 6, Joey.
To get the thing started for the Pack. So Sharpio reaches on an error, but any way you can with 2 outs in the early going, just apply some pressure to the right-handed throwing Ryan Castillo, who's done a good job inducing weak contact on some ground balls so far. Kramer goes after the first one as well. An aggressive attack early on for the Packers leads to a quick home half of the first. Going to head to the second, still scoreless here in Healdsburg.
Enzo Village sponsors tonight. And now back again, Healdsburg Community Band. Here's the community band, fresh off their 4th of July concert last week. Glad to have them back every Wednesday. We have one more Wednesday with them on the 24th. Leading off the top of the second inning for the Potter.
Continue through this Potter lineup. Up now, leading off, is going to be Will Lindbergh out of Cal State Northridge. The left fielder will be followed by the designated hitter Cole Dillon, and then also due up this inning Zach Chamizo, who just made a great effort over at first, applying a tag to Robbie Hamchuk, setting the tone for the Potters defensively, helping Castillo get out of that first inning that would have been trouble if there was an error made by the third baseman Freely. Of course, Sharpio reached on a 2-out error, but when you've already got 2 outs, it's a little bit less trouble for your pitcher. A lot easier to recover and go get the next guy, which is exactly what Castillo did. Working well early on, but also working well early on is Derik Eaquinto. Obviously, the leadoff walk issued to J.R. Freely in the first. He retired the next 3 in a row, including a strikeout to the cleanup hitter Jacob Doyle. Has led us to a scoreless tie through 1 inning so far. Jumping out into a leverage count is the left-handed hitting Lindbergh. Takes the heater at 87 from Eaquinto, moves himself into the driver's seat, a 3-ball, 1-strike count. That one awfully close to the zone, but good job by Lindbergh, gets the call. And then ropes this one into right, but not much ground to gain there for Hayslip, who puts it away for the first out of the second. Eaquinto continues to fall behind, but continues to still get those Lincoln Potters hitters. No damage done so far. It is early on, but this is what you expect. A quick moving game between these two sides. Both sides very aggressive at the dish, while also good strike throwing pitching staffs. Eaquinto misses downstairs with the first one to Dillon, the Arizona Wildcat, for ball 1. Dillon batting .200 so far for the Potters in PEL play. Leaves another fastball, and again, just missing the zone for Eaquinto. It's a tight zone from the home plate umpire, but an accurate one that sees Dillon into a 2-0 count. Excuse me, swing there on the fastball. Does go around. Still in the driver's seat at a 2-ball, 1-strike count, but Eaquinto working his way back into it. Dillon yesterday had a couple of plate appearances, 0 for 1 in his official at-bats, but was also hit by a pitch in that 9-4 loss to the Pack. Now there's a 3-1 count, so back to a 2-pitch advantage for the righty. And he takes ball 4 below the zone. So another walk issued by Eaquinto. Pretty uncharacteristic out of the lefty, who started his collegiate career at Salt Lake Community College after spending his days growing up in Orem, Utah. Eaquinto had 27 walks and 83 innings of work for the Gales this spring. The year before, only 6 walks and 29 innings of work for St. Mary's. His season was cut short after a comeback line drive hit that left wrist, broke his left wrist, and ended the 2023 campaign early, but he came back strong in 2024, dealing a 3.46 ERA to go along with a 6-2 record in 14 starts, including a big outing against the University of San Francisco. 8 innings of 2-hit baseball with 10 strikeouts and a 7-1 win. Eaquinto had worked about 7 innings, no hit in that outing against the Dons. For now, he gets the ground ball to get him out of the second. Well turned by Kramer and Maloney. A 3-6-3 double play keeps us scoreless as we head to the home half of the second, where the Packers look to break this tie and get on the board early.
Ninth inning, Babe Ruth hits a grand slam home run to give Boston the win. Lethal is immediately fired. 1919. Healdsburg Community Band, they practice every Tuesday at the high school. If you'd like to join in and become part of it, just check with anybody up there. I'm sure they're happy to welcome you. They take all folks, no matter how incredibly talented you probably are, you can still play with the Healdsburg Community Band. They'd love to have you. Leading off the bottom of the second inning for the Prune Packers, University of Alabama right field at number 22.
Headed to the home half of the second. It's going to be led off by that member of the Crimson Tide out of the University of Alabama. That's Camden Hayslip at the plate, and he has been red hot over the last 7 days. 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. This one going to connect with him, and he did not go around. So 1 pitch, and he reaches on the hit by pitch. Bringing up Cole Caruso. Caruso, another member of this team. That 4-5-6 part of the lineup has been super hot over the past week for the Pack. Joey Kramer, who flew out to right in the first, batting .609 over the last 7 days. Cole Caruso batting .400 over the last 7 days. This one is eventually gathered by Eli Small as Caruso dodges it up and in. Caruso yesterday was 2 for 4, including a walk, and came around to score twice in the winning effort. Goes after the second one he sees from Castillo and lifts it high on the infield under it. The second baseman Gargett, and puts it away to retire Caruso and pick up the first out of the home half of the second. And this trend, although early, continues on. These hitters are going to be aggressive early in the count, but the pitchers aren't going to shy away. They have good stuff. They're not afraid to attack the zone against the batting lineups for both sides respectively. So up now, Alex Leopard, another guy who has been hitting well over the last 7 days. .375 for the University of California, San Diego Triton. Leopard, last time he was at home against the Kings on the 6th, absolutely belted a home run out to right center in his lone at bat in that 9-1 victory. Would also play the next day at the Solano Mudcats on the road, where he went 2 for 4 with a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. Leopard has just been so good whenever called upon by Coach Gomes. Just continue to expect more of the same, playing center field today, batting from the left side. Hayslip leading over at first. He does fall behind Castillo 0-2 early on. Line drive right at Freethie at third on the hot corner. Sets down Alex Leopard for the second out of the second. The pace in this one early on has been very quick. Brings Jake Tatum to the dish, another member of this Prune Packer lineup that had a great day yesterday in Lincoln, went 2 for 3. Came around to score, also was hit by a pitch, so he reached 3 times for that Packer offense, really helping set the tone with the rest of the offensive production. Pitching was also a bright spot for the Packers. All but one of the arms that came out to throw held the Potters scoreless. Caden Wooster was the one who gave up 4 runs, just not quite his day, but still a sub-3 ERA. He's been great so far this summer. Tatum swings through a good fastball there from Castillo at 87, and he falls behind 0-2. Castillo's done a great job getting ahead of these batters, taking advantage of it, using all parts of the zone. Tatum takes the breaking ball into left. Hayslip was on the move, so he's going to have an easy time getting into third. It's going to set up runners on the corners now for the Packers with 2 out. Wasn't the prettiest piece of hitting there from Jake Tatum, the University of Houston Cougar, but he was able to keep the hands back long enough to keep that breaking ball in fair territory. And with Hayslip on the move, he moves to just 90 feet away from scoring the first run of this ball game. And it's going to bring up Blake McDonald. McDonald, of course, has been a Prune Packer for several years now. Takes the first one at 87, called strike 1. Tough one to hit there, up and in fastball, well executed by Ryan Castillo, but an opportunity for McDonald to pick things up where he leaves them off every summer in Healdsburg and drive in Hayslip, take the early lead here in the second. But again, Castillo doing a good job with the fastball, gets McDonald to swing through it, and he falls behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Tatum leading over at first. McDonald shoots this one into right center. Tracking it is the right fielder, Jacob Doyle, who makes the grab in the gap to end the second inning. So a good piece of hitting there from McDonald, but Castillo gets the better of him. Continues this one scoreless through 2 innings here at Rec Park.
This looks really bad. Leading off the top of the third inning for the Potters, center fielder, number 3.
An early pitching change for Healdsburg, and not too surprising considering what Eaquinto told me before the game, how this was his first time facing live batters once again, and after a couple of walks were issued through those first 2 innings, it really worked that pitch count up to 37 pitches. So that's going to do it for Eaquinto's day. It was 2 innings of scoreless baseball, no hits, and 1 strikeout for the left-hander out of St. Mary's. But that sets up Wyatt Tucker, who takes the mound now, the right-hander out of Sam Houston State, who has been absolutely electric for the Packers pitching so far this summer. A 1.89 ERA, an undefeated 3-0 record through 5 starts, 37 strikeouts to just 4 walks in his 19 innings of work. The right-hander has been in the zone often and has been effective often as well.
For the Prune Packers from Sam Houston State, number 20, Wyatt Tucker.
Leading off this third, looking to get Lincoln on the board first. It's going to be Cole Eaton, the Tennessee Volunteers, playing center field today. Grounds the fastball up the middle, just out of the reach of the diving Maddox Maloney. A lead-off single for Cole Eaton gets things started for the Potters.
For the Potters, second base number 12.
Good piece of hitting right there. Was ready for that 90-mile-an-hour fastball that Tucker offers. He also brings the 2-seam fastball, the slider, the changeup, and the splitter. So a 5-pitch arsenal for Tucker that he's been able to use incredibly effectively throughout the summer. 91-mile-an-hour fastball misses above the letters for a 1-0 count. We're less than a month away from postseason PEL baseball, and this is when the standings really begin to take shape. But definitely some positional battles going on through the middle and bottom part of the PEL standings. And you take a look, got the Solano Mudcats at 7-10. They're the team behind the Lincoln Potters. And then after them, you've got the Humboldt Crabs at 6-9, just a game behind them. And then the 2 teams battling at the bottom are the Medford Rogues and West Coast Kings at 4-9 each. So when you take out the Packers, who are sitting at 16-2, way atop the standings, it's mostly close between the remaining 5 squads, and we've seen all of those remaining 5 squads put up good fights against the Pack. So as it stands right now, once the postseason rolls around, it might just come down to who gets hot. Obviously, the Prune Packers would be your favorite if the postseason started today. But also as the summer continues, all of these rosters will also continue to change as Tucker throws the split and gets the swing and miss from the 9-hitter Caius Gargett. Good job there from Tucker, and it's going to bring up J.R. Freethy. But as I was saying, if the postseason were to start today, the Packers probably your favorite to win. But any of these teams could get hot, knock them off, and with the changing rosters, for example, the Packers no longer with a guy like Logan Sutter, guys like Max DeBeck. Summer's also coming to an end here in Healdsburg. It's when you see new players begin to join the Packers, whether they be returning guys such as Blake McDonald or new guys such as today's starting pitcher in Derik Eaquinto. Good job there by Cole Eaton to swipe second base, though. Moves him into scoring position. The Potters have been aggressive on the bases early on, and it's given them some high-pressure at-bats in the early innings. RBI opportunities aplenty. Freethy walked his first time up, would later go on to steal a base. As I mentioned, this Potter aggressive base running. He's currently ahead 3-0, being very patient here against Tucker. And with that open first base bag, wouldn't be surprised to see Tucker not necessarily dance around Freethy, but doesn't want to serve him up anything too good to hit. The 91-mile-an-hour fastball appeared. Freethy was on the take all the way. Tucker gets back into the strike zone, a 3-1 count. Next fastball from Tucker does come in at 92, but misses the zone, low and in, and Freedy draws his second walk early on in just 2 plate appearances. Now Cade Parker, who popped out to Joey Kramer his first time up, has something to work with. 2 on, just 1 out for the right-handed hitting shortstop. I mentioned earlier he hit that home run to right center when the Potters came up just short in the effort on July 3rd here at Rec Park between, at the time, the first and second place teams in the PEL standings. They still are in those positions today. Parker fouls off the 0-1 to the right side and falls behind 0-2. Great job here from Wyatt Tucker, who's completely bounced back immediately after issuing a 5-pitch walk to J.R. Freedy. Tucker's 0-2 pitch just off the outside part of the plate at 90 miles an hour. Tried to elevate the fastball, get Parker's eyes to light up, but he did a good job staying patient, leaving that one up and away. 1-2 offering. This time gets the called strike 3. The slider low and away from Tucker registers his second strikeout of the inning, making it his second strikeout of the evening. That one painting the low and away corner. Home plate umpire today has been incredibly accurate if you're judging him based off of the TrackMan score. He's done a great job so far with the zone. Eli Small steps up to the dish, the catcher out of the University of Kentucky. So 2 on, 2 out for Lincoln. Small with an opportunity to give them their first lead of the game, put the first run on the board of the competition. Fouls the 1-0 off of his front foot, and the count goes even at 1-1. Packers saw themselves in trouble in the first. Eaquinto was able to get himself out of the self-made jam. Now Tucker trying to do the same. And again, just painting the corners is Tucker. That one maybe a little bit off the plate, but when you continue to attack the zone like he's done since the walk to Freedy, you're going to start to get some of those calls. The 1-2 now to Small. Small lifts it to the left side. Caruso giving chase into foul ground. Also coming in on it is Hamchuk, who can't quite come away with it. Overran that one in foul territory, and it lands over on the left side. So we'll do another 1-2. Small lives to see another day. Hamchuk had a lot of ground to cover there and reached his top speed early and just couldn't quite hit the brakes hard enough to come up with the fly ball. So Small still standing in that left-handed batter's box. Another 1-2 offering from Tucker, this time missing away. Again, going to that off-speed with the splitter. So the count even at 2-2 with 2 out, 2 on for Lincoln. The 3-hitter. Small swings and misses. Slider from Wyatt Tucker sets him down. Packers pitchers have pitched a scoreless 3 innings. They look to take the first lead, put the first run on the board here in this one in the home half.
Joe Cronin, 5 future Hall of Famers, 1934, the great Carl Hubble. Healdsburg Community Band. Great job. Thank you. Leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Prune Packers.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Packers. It's going to be Robbie Hamchuk, Maddox Maloney, and Connor Sharpio, the three due up. They would have gone down in order if it wasn't for Sharpio reaching on an error by the third baseman Freethy in the first. Going to try their luck once more against Ryan Castillo, who remains in this one through 2 scoreless innings of work. Hamchuk yesterday was great for the Pack, really getting on track. A 3-for-5 day with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Right-handed hitter. Now in the transfer portal out of his hometown of San Jose, California. Possibility that we see the outfielder in a new home for the first time in several years. Barely overran that foul fly ball on the left side, ended up missing it. But it just opened the door for Tucker to pick up his 3rd strikeout of the 3rd. Recorded all 3 outs in the top half via the strikeout, did Tucker. Great start for the right-hander. Now Hamchuk trying to get the offense started. Lifts the 2-2, foul to the right side. Hamchuk was not yet here in Healdsburg this summer, the first time the team faced off against Lincoln. So he leaves the 2-2, a slider low and away, and the count goes full. So Hamchuk doing a great job this time around, really working the pitch count of Ryan Castillo. His full count offering. Hamchuk able to foul off the fastball, and the catcher Small wasn't able to hold on. So we'll do another full count offering from Castillo. Seven pitches into this at-bat, the 8th one awaiting from the right-handed Lobo. He's going to miss low and away with the slider, and Hamchuk able to work his way to a leadoff walk here in the 3rd. And that might be just what the doctor ordered for the Packers. They did get a leadoff man on via the free pass in the 2nd when Camden Hayslip was hit by a pitch. They weren't quite able to bring him home. Now with the top part of the order, maybe more luck coming the Packers' way. So Maddox Maloney steps up to hit. He grounded out to the shortstop his first time up on the first pitch, and he goes after the first pitch again here against the right-handed throwing Castillo. Maloney was 1 for 1 yesterday, was walked and hit by a pitch, so reaching 3 times was the Oregon Duck. Did a great job helping provide for the offense. Didn't quite bring in any of those runs with the bat or base running, but definitely helped move runners and keep that line moving. Jammed up on the 0-1, fouls it off to the right side, and it gets out of play. The first baseman, Chamizo, all the way to the fence, but ran out of room. So Maloney has to get defensive here in an 0-2 count. At least do his best to get Hamchuk into scoring position. Goes after a breaker and fouls it off again. So a lot of foul balls here in the 3rd from the Prune Packer hitters. Doing a good job staying alive, not allowing Castillo to put him down easily. Another 0-2 offering. This time the fastball, but once again, Maloney doing more of the same, just fouling it off, staying alive. A good approach here with 2 strikes, and I talk about this a lot on the broadcast. The more you see pitches from the same pitcher in the same at-bat, nonetheless, eventually that pitcher might leave one over the middle for you. On the move is Hamchuk. Maloney, though, pulling the off-speed foul. Hamchuk will have to make his way back to first. So already the 6th pitch of this at-bat, but all 5 up to this point have been strikes. Just a bunch being fouled off by Maloney. He's got a beat on what he's seeing from Castillo, just not quite putting it in play. Castillo's going to take the opportunity to check on Hamchuk, who took off for second, had to make his way back after the foul ball. Good chance that Hamchuk is looking to steal on the slider, get a good jump. And then the fastball with an 0-2 count comes inside and hits Maloney. Not what you want to see if you're a fan of the Potters or if you're Castillo himself out there on the mound. You could tell he was frustrated. That fastball just running too far to the arm side and gives Maloney a chance to reach, and he takes it with the 0-2 count. The best time to be hit by a pitch. It never feels good, but it definitely hurts a lot less when it gets you out of that hole at the plate, that's for sure. Furthermore, setting the table now for the 3-hitter Connor Sharpio, who reached on an error to the third baseman his first time up. Now has an opportunity to perhaps break this scoreless tie. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop Parker not able to come up with it. Around to score comes Hamchuk. The throw upstairs. Down goes Small with Hamchuk sliding underneath him. And the runner's moving up another 90 feet on the throw. Prune Packers taking a 1-0 lead on the Connor Sharpio RBI single up the middle. Hamchuk was ready to go home. Running from second base, that ground ball was hit behind him. He took off for third immediately with the force play being in effect. And then Coach Gomes gave him the green light once it skipped away from the shortstop Parker. And when he slid into home, Small went airborne to try and come down with the baseball. Had his legs taken out from underneath him. He is all right and back behind the dish, so that's good to see. But the Packers strike first, a 1-0 lead thanks to Connor Sharpio. And now runners on second and third, so the threat definitely not over with the cleanup hitter Joey Kramer at the dish. And if he can pick up where he left off yesterday, he did fly out to right his first time up. But a 3-for-4 day in Lincoln with a double, a walk, 3 RBIs, and a run scored. Washington State Cougar doing it all for this offense. Takes the first one inside from Castillo and gets ahead 1-0. Exactly what you want to do if you're Kramer. You want to find something to drive, something that's going to bring in one, if not both, of those runners. This one skips away from the catcher Small, and in comes Maloney, further extending this Prune Packer lead. Yeah, right there, the breaking ball. Looked like the curveball there from Castillo. Changed the shape on the breaking ball, but it came up short. Bounced away from Small, who immediately after getting his legs taken out from under him on a Hamchuk slide, then has to go chasing after a wild pitch. The Packers tack on another. Kramer still has an opportunity to drive one in, lifts this to the right side, giving chase is Doyle back towards that right field line and landing just foul. Kramer so close to extra bases, very close to a home run as well to that right side of the field. Just barely landing in foul ground, out of the reach of Jacob Doyle. Kramer still in the driver's seat, a 2-ball, 1-strike count for the right-hander. As I mentioned earlier, batting .609 over the last 7 days. He has been stellar at the plate. He's been great playing first base defensively as well. A .991 fielding percentage for him. Good off-speed there from the right-hander, Castillo. And the count goes even. Kramer, the eyes lit up. Castillo, though, disguised the off-speed well. Got it to break away from Kramer, but now getting defensive with a 2-strike count. He does go around on the pitch in the dirt. Small's going to apply the tag. Make sure Kramer doesn't try anything funny. So he goes down on strikes, and Castillo moves a step closer to avoiding any further damage. And that's what you got to do if you're Castillo. You see Tucker enter the game in the third. It's almost as if Eaquinto acted as an opener for the Healdsburg pitching staff. So Camden Hayslip steps into the left-handed batter's box. Connor Sharpie was 90 feet away from scoring with less than 2 outs. Only 1 out so far here in the third. Hayslip leaves that one downstairs in the dirt, does a good job holding off. Gets way into the driver's seat now. A 3-ball, 1-strike count. And again, just mentioned it. Connor Sharpio just 90 feet away from scoring with just 1 out. So if Hayslip can at least get the ball deep enough into the outfield or hard on the ground anywhere but to the pitcher and third baseman, that would score Sharpio and make this a 3-0 early Prune Packer lead. Fouls off the 3-1, straight into the ground and back into the umpire and catcher. So the count full now for Hayslip. I talked to him after a big game with 2 doubles last week, and he talked about how when there are runners on, he loves to drive them in, loves to stack up those RBI numbers. It's a conversation I also had with my broadcast partner, Ryan Moffett, as Hayslip goes down looking on the slider. That one just barely catching the outside corner. The call definitely could have gone either way there. But the winner today is going to be Castillo. As he sets down Hayslip on strikes, picking up his 2nd out. It's been great pitching against the last 2 hitters who are very hot as of late. Brings up another hot bat in Cole Caruso. Takes the first one downstairs. That's another thing to notice, how well Eli Small's done behind the dish, keeping these balls in the dirt in front of him. Not allowing for Sharpio to scamper on home. One 0 from Castillo. Good job with the fastball. Swung on and missed
In the shade. This is
by Caruso.
hot.
Caruso leaves the slider on the outside corner, picks up a called strike 2. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Castillo misses way up and in. This one gets away from Small. Sharpio now going to make his way to the plate, and he slides in safely. That was one hectic wild pitch there. Small had been doing such a good job on the low wild pitches. Was able to keep them all in front. This one, though, the fastball got way up and into Caruso. Bounced hard off the backstop. Got away from Small, and then Sharpio just kept shuffling and shuffling further down the third base line. Finally felt like he gained enough ground to take advantage of it, and he did. A 3-0 Prune Packer lead now here in the third. Put themselves in a position of big-time advantage, and Caruso is going to keep it going. A hard ground ball down the third base line. He's wheeling for extra bases all the way. Lindbergh has a little bit of trouble with it on the fence and left. And Cole Caruso delivers a 2-out double down the third base line. So an opportunity to continue the offensive production here in the third. Alex Leopard steps up. He lined out to the third baseman his last time up. He's got Caruso in scoring position, and with 2 outs, a base hit should score the Michigan Wolverine, especially if it can find its way into a gap in the outfield. Leopard takes again, this time for a called strike 1, and the count goes even. He's done a good job attacking that low and outside corner against both sides at the plate. Both right-handed hitters and left-handed hitters have watched called strikes go by on those outside corners. One Leopard, a hard ground ball to the shortstop. Parker does a good job gathering it on a funky hop and gets Leopard at first. But the Prune Packers able to pick up 3 runs after a couple of walks and a single from Connor Sharpio. An early 3-0 lead as we head to the 4th here at Rec Park.
And wisdom, Enzo Village. Healdsburg Community Band. Leading off, top of the 4th for the Potters, right field, number 35, Jacob Doyle.
Jacob Doyle, the cleanup man for the Potters. He's going to step up first. He'll be followed by Will Lindbergh and Cole Dillon. Doyle's first time up resulted in a strikeout, but now he's facing a new arm in Wyatt Tucker, who misses downstairs with the fastball. Next one from Tucker, another fastball, this time missing low and away. He falls behind the cleanup hitter Doyle, 2-0. You don't want to give a guy like him a leverage count. Currently slugging .348, a .688 OPS for the cleanup man, who swings through the 2-0 offering. Another fastball from Tucker, but this time in the strike zone and enticing Doyle to swing and miss. Tries to go to the slider there, bounces again. McDonald doing a good job handling those pitches, and doesn't mean much with nobody on, but it might mean something later when we see more of these Potters on base. Important to keep them from gaining a free 90. Fastball right down Broadway there at 90 miles an hour from Tucker. Good job challenging him with the 3-1. Doyle probably didn't expect it. The full count pitch, again challenging him with the fastball, this time fouled on the ground to the left side. Tucker, all 3 of his outs in the 3rd came on the strikeout, and there's a 4th. This time the slider puts away Jacob Doyle. Not only is that his 4th strikeout, but his 3rd in a row and his 4th in the last 5 batters. J.R. Fraley just kind of getting in the middle of this streak, who drew a walk last inning. Other than that, in the single from Colt Eaton to lead off the 3rd, Tucker has been lights out so far and continues to attack the zone, this time with the changeup against Lindbergh. So starts him off ahead 0-1. Not quite finding the zone. Went to the same pitch, looked to pull the string on it, but staying patient at the dish is Lindbergh, who lined out to Hayslip in right field his first time up. Again, though, this is his first time seeing Tucker. That was in the lefty-lefty matchup against Eaquinto. Kind of served as an opener today. Normally see Tucker in a starting role. Today coming in relief. Going to make it really tough for this Potter lineup. You've already dealt with 2 shutout innings from the left-handed Eaquinto, and now You have to face the hard-throwing right-hander. Tucker's been so good this summer for the Pack. Now facing a 3-run deficit as well after those 3 runs were picked up in the home half of the third. Tucker, good job getting in the strike zone with the fastball. He's not afraid to challenge so far with the fastball, even when he gives away those leverage counts. This time, a ground ball to Kramer. Does a good job fielding it to his right, flipping to Tucker, and getting him at first.
Dylan.
Well done by Wyatt Tucker and Joey Kramer, just executing that one. Textbook defense there from the 2 on the right side, and it's the first out that Tucker's recorded, not on the strikeout, and it brings up the designated hitter Cole Dillon. Drew a walk his first time up again. That was against Eaquinto. As Tucker now worked through 7 hitters of this lineup. Dillon and awaiting on deck Chamizo, the only 2 who are yet to see the right-hander out of Sam Houston. Count even at a ball and a strike. Dillon doing a good job staying patient. We saw that his first time up in the second. This one doesn't move a muscle and takes the pitch. Looked like the split there off the front arm. He's going to take a free walk over to first for the second time today. This time, though, on the hit by pitch. And it brings up Zach Chamizo. Chamizo, of course, I mentioned it earlier. He's the last one yet to face Tucker in this starting lineup. His first time up, he allowed Eaquinto to get out of the second with a 3-6-3 double play. Kramer's been great defensively so far today. I feel like that should get mentioned after seeing him work with the pitcher Tucker and working with the shortstop Maloney earlier on today. Tucker gets way ahead of Chamizo, utilizing the split-fingered fastball to get ahead 0-2. Wouldn't be surprised to see action from Dillon at first. For now, the fastball gets away from McDonald, and Dillon doesn't have to do much. He's going to take second on the wild pitch, but if Tucker can stay dialed in here, go and get Chamizo himself, he can continue to stay out of trouble and continue to preserve the shutout that the Prune Packer pitching staff has put together so far. 1-2. We're going to ask the field umpire. He did not go around. Great job holding up there by the first baseman, Chamizo. And keep raving about Kramer's first base defensive work. And Chamizo did a great job in the first. He had to leap for a throw from his third baseman, Friedrich. He was able to apply the tag. This time, he does go around the home plate. Umpire catches him doing so. Tucker, his 5th strikeout through 2 innings of shutout baseball. Packers continue to lead this one 3-0 here on the Prune Packer YouTube channel.
All hit home runs, 1956 All-Star Game, just 68 years ago. Here's our community band. They're born to be wild, of course. Leading off, University of Houston, Bottom of the fourth inning, second base number 16, Jake Tatum.
The home half of the fourth going to be led off by Jake Tatum, who singled into left his first time seeing Castillo. After him, it'll be McDonald, and then back to the top of the Prune Packer lineup in Robbie Hamchuk. Packers hitters 1 through 9 just do such a good job getting on base, setting the table for one another, and eventually driving one another home. This pop-up is taken in by the second baseman, Gargett, over on the right side. A great job with the communication there. I call that the Bermuda Triangle over on the right side. That's where fly balls get lost and land in for base hits. But you can tell those three have good communication over there, good chemistry. They all knew who was going to take it. Gargett did a great job taking charge and putting it away for the first out of the fourth. McDonald takes the first one for a called strike one against Castillo. McDonald flew out to right his first time up. Spent the spring at the University of Arizona out in Tucson. Chops this one foul. He batted .297 with a couple of home runs, a .418 slug, a .404 on base percentage, leading to an .822 OPS from McDonald in 26 starts, most of them coming behind the plate. He was great for the Wildcats right there, though. Castillo gets the better of him. A good fastball sets him down looking. That'll be Castillo's third strikeout of the day. And he's been great so far for the Potters. He just kind of let that third inning get away from him. A walk to Hamchuk after a long at-bat, and then Maloney was able to foul off a bunch of 0-2 offerings until he was later hit by a pitch. They would both come around to score after a Connor Sharpio single and just some wild pitches, allowing the Packers to get on the board and extend this lead early, giving the Packers pitching some nice cushion to work with, definitely helping them settle in on the mound. 0-1 from Castillo. Hamchuk lifts this one into left, just in front of the fence, hauled in by Lindbergh for the third out of the fourth. But the Packers still leading by a score of 3-0. Griffin Snyder here on the call. Going to be joined by Pierce Rexford for the next couple of innings here on the broadcast.
6 hits against the Cubs. Top of the fifth inning.
We are underway here in the top of the fifth. I'm now joined by my fellow intern, Pierce Rexford. Pierce, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be on the broadcast with you, Griffin. I think this is my second guest appearance of the season, and I'm stoked to be on here again.
Is it your first time during league play, or did you?
No, first time during league play.
It's exciting stuff. It's some good baseball. We got first and second place squads here with the Packers and the Potters. You been liking what you've seen so far today?
I do. The one thing I don't like their name. What is a potter?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Just curious.
I guess someone who makes pots, puts things in pots. I think.
Maybe it's both. Maybe it's like a gardener / clay maker.
Yes, exactly. Tucker, the 0-2 off the end of the bat of Eaton. Maloney, great job up the middle. The throw to first in time to get him. Sets down Cole Eaton. Great job there, ranging up the middle by Maloney. Well done defensively by the shortstop out of Oregon. Tucker continues to deal. So up now is going to be Caius Gargett, and coming into this one, the Kentucky Wildcat reached in 15 of his first 25 plate appearances for the summer. So off to a hot start, does a good job setting the table, and that's why you see him in the 9-hole. It's an opportunity to set the table for the top part of this Lincoln lineup. Tucker this time missing upstairs, falls behind 2-0. Again missing, this time inside a 3-ball no-strike count. What do you think, Pierce? Give him the green light, let him swing, or is he on the take?
You know, I don't know who this guy's at the plate, but it's 3-0. You got to take a whack at it. You got to.
Tucker hasn't been afraid to come in with the fastball. Gargett might be ready for it, but it's going to miss off the inside part anyway, so he takes it for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk issued to the 9-hitter. Not what you wanted to see if you're Tucker, but at the same time, Gargett does a great job reaching base for the Potter lineup and doing exactly what this team wants him to do, setting the table for the top of the lineup. Gargett came into today reaching base 83% of the time.
That's insane.
Yeah, off to a great start for Lincoln. He joined the team a little bit late into the summer. Seen a lot of guys do that, a lot of roster movement. That'll happen in summer ball.
Yeah, tell me about it. I was gone for a week, came back, the whole team's different.
Yeah, I saw a new pitcher throw today in Eaquinto, but right back to the regular and Wyatt Tucker. Tucker's missed the zone on 6 consecutive pitches, leading to a 2-0 count now for J.R. Freethy, and then one in the dirt gets away from McDonald. Gargett moves up 90 feet into scoring position now. McDonald asking for a new baseball there. Going to get a clean one out to his pitcher, Tucker, and they're going to have a conversation. Maybe a little bit of a cross-up there, just something about changing his sights after 7 consecutive pitches missed the zone.
It seems like other than that last pitch, too, all 6 of them have been inside on the left-handed hitter. They're all missing just barely inside on the lefty.
Some on-point analysis right there. He's just cutting it off a little bit. You got to let that pitch ride. You got to find that release point. You start getting too far out in front, start being too particular with your location. That's when you start to miss. And right there, another miss. But as you mentioned, Pierce, that one didn't miss low and in, so an adjustment definitely made by Tucker right there.
Yeah, that one miss just looked to me like it was just high, but it was definitely not low and in, yeah.
And according to the track man, not even high. It was definitely called high in the zone, but that one might have crossed out the letters to Freebie. He does squat down pretty low. It's also his 3rd walk of the day as Parker steps up now, grounds the first one foul. Who are some of these new guys, Pierce? Was Maloney the shortstop around when you left last?
I don't think so. I think he's new.
Maloney, one of the new guys, yup, over at short. I know Robbie Hamchuk out in the left is definitely a new guy. Definitely some other new players that have joined in the past week or so that haven't joined the lineup so far today. This one bounces, gets away from McDonald, and both runners move up 90 feet. Tucker did have one to play with there against Parker. You got ahead 0-2, now the count 1-2, but got to be careful now with 2 runners in scoring position. It's a base hit can make this just a 1-run ball game, could easily chip away at the lead. Parker shoots the fastball foul.
It actually hit it?
No, hit the fence and didn't.
Again, one missing downstairs from Tucker. It's been interesting. He hasn't been attacking the zone as much as we normally see him do, but he's still got 5 strikeouts to show so far.
Yeah. It seems like just he's a little shaky, I feel like, on the mound right now. That just recently started happening last couple bats.
Wide end of here.
And then again, missing with the 2-2. It's not something we see too often from Tucker. I mentioned how he comes into this one attacking the zone a lot. Only 4 walks so far this summer, but today in his outing, 3 walks, 3 bases on ball. There's the 4th, and a hit by pitch. So it's just uncharacteristic out of Tucker. He's still getting the outs, keeping it quiet for the Potter offense, but many more walks than we're used to.
Eli Small.
It clearly fell off.
Yeah, the whole plant and everything.
So the bases are loaded now for the catcher, Eli Small. Takes the fastball for called strike 1, and 0-1 count. Now Small is 0 for 2 so far today, but it's as good a time as ever to deliver a big hit here, possibly bring home some runs, and Tucker seems to know it, working up to the top of his range with the fastball at 92 to get ahead. No balls, 2 strikes the count. Small looking to get defensive, able to foul off the off-speed from Tucker and stay alive 0-2. An important moment here in the top of the 5th. Big time pitch there from Tucker. Goes to the change, pulls the string. Small swings and misses as he records his 6th strikeout of the day. And for the time being, keeps him scoreless, Pierce.
That was huge, too. He finally hit that low and in pitch. He was looking for all day against the lefties. He finally hit that one. That was huge.
Yeah, just kind of trying to paint those corners. Finally gets one to go his way. And now it looks like he is in the zone. Starts off Doyle with the called strike 1. Doyle's already gone down on strikes twice today. Tucker looking to make it a hat trick. Gets him on the split downstairs, and he's ahead 0-2. So after loading the bases with 3 consecutive walks, Tucker has an opportunity to get himself out of his own jam with a big pitch here against Doyle. The 0-2 fastball painted on the corner, 92 miles an hour. 6 straight strikes leads to 2 strikeouts, his 7th of the day. And they are still scoreless through 5. Packers look to add on in the home half.
Pittsburgh, Montreal, Chicago, and St. Louis. In the West will be Los Angeles, San Francisco, Houston, Cincinnati, San Diego, and Atlanta. National League splits into 2, 1968. Devil with the Bluegrass, community band. Sounding good tonight. Leading off out of the 5th inning for the Prune Packers, University of Oregon, shortstop number 5. Maloney.
Maddox Maloney looks to get things started here in the home half. He'll be followed by Pierce's favorite Prune Packer player and Connor Sharpio, who waits in the on-deck circle. Then after that, it'll be the cleanup hitter, Joey Kramer. So a good part of the lineup that's looking to extend this 3-0 lead. And remaining in the game is the right-hander, Ryan Castillo. And again, I mentioned it last inning. He's done a good job for the most part. Just a few walks and wild pitches got away from him in the third. That led to the Packers getting on the board and extending the lead early.
Yeah, and they also had just a few errors that really just compounded the few walks that they had in that inning.
Yeah, that throw to home in an attempt to get Hamchuk got away from the catcher Small, and as Hamchuk slid in, took the legs out from under Small, allowed those runners to move up another 90 feet. And you're right, Pierce compounded right into those wild pitches, allowing them to score all three of those runs. Maloney drives this one into left. Going back on it is Lindbergh. This one's going to bounce off the left center fence and just barely make its way over. A little bit of a break there for Lincoln. I think Maloney was thinking 3, if not the inside the Parker, the way that one bounced off the fence.
Now batting Long Beach State DH number 23, Connor Sharpio.
So that is going to bring up the Long Beach State dirtbag. Connor Sharpio steps up to the plate. 1 for 2 so far today. Singled to bring home Hamchuk. Would also come around to score after that on those wild pitches we just mentioned, Pierce. So what he's got in store this time for Castillo, with Maloney standing in scoring position at second, goes after the slider for a swinging strike 1. Sharpio goes after the fastball in the 0-1 count and falls behind 0-2 after fouling that one back. Tough start to the at-bat, but I expect him to fight with 2 strikes, get a little defensive. This one bouncing way out in front of the plate. That fastball only making it about 55 feet.
Yeah.
Good job by Eli Small, though, behind the dish. He's been great on a lot of the pitches in the dirt. Those wild pitches that allowed runs to score were actually fastballs up that he just wasn't expecting to run so high from Castillo. He's doing a good job fighting back there. He's dealt with a bunch of contact so far today. Sharpio does go down, swinging on the fastball. Well-executed pitch there from Castillo on the outside part of the plate.
Now batting from Washington State University, first base, number 6.
Have you been on the broadcast for a Connor Sharpio at bat in the past, Pierce?
No, that was my first one, and you know what? It was an unfortunate one to do for Connor Sharpio, but it's all right. That's still my boy.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if maybe you're to blame. Maybe we can a little bit of a
maybe
bad luck
little
thing going
commentator
on.
jinx, possibly. It's definitely possible.
See if we can get him up again later on. See if maybe things turn around. So Kramer steps in now, takes the first one for ball 1, gets ahead early. Again, taking this in the dirt, and again, Small keeping it right there at his feet. Great job from the Kentucky Wildcat to keep it right there and not allow Maloney to move up to third, which is important with less than 2 outs. You want to allow them to bring him home with an out.
Yeah, it looks like he's throwing a bounce pass to him. I mean, that was real short. It almost hit the grass, I think.
I'm glad you were able to work hoops in there somehow, Pierce. I've been thinking about it this whole time, but of course the basketball player able to do it before I am. This one misses up and in to Kramer. A little bit more in than up, and he's way ahead. 3 balls, no strikes. Yeah, I know you played college basketball, but what's your experience playing baseball?
I played baseball up until about 7th grade. I was pretty good. I could not bat to save my life. Horrible batter. So, I ended up quitting because I was better at other sports. So it's just how it works sometimes.
Were you a good pitcher?
I was a good pitcher. Didn't throw that hard, but I was super accurate. So it was decent.
There you go. I figured Figured with the height. Did you have the height back then too?
Yeah, I've always been pretty tall, so
there you
that
go.
definitely helps.
There you go, yeah.
Little intimidation factor on the mound. You know?
It's a good pitcher build to have. Not a good way to go up there and hit. You got a way bigger batter's box. You got way more to deal with, and not everybody's Aaron Judge.
Exactly. You feel my pain.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, but I can understand. This one off the hands of Kramer, caught by the second baseman, Gargett. Good job putting that one away. I'm standing at a solid 6 feet tall.
Oh, yeah, I'd give you the 6'2".
Oh, the 6'2".
If anyone asked, I'd say 6'2". My boy Griff, he's 6'2".
I got the Air Forces on. That definitely helps. So up now, the right fielder, Camden Hayslip. He was hit by a pitch and struck out in his first 2 plate appearances. Continues to take those big hacks. They've been working over the last week. I mentioned it his first time up. 5 home runs in the last 7 days for the left-handed hitter.
That's insane.
Castillo keeping an eye on Maloney over at second. Doesn't want to let him get off too far with 2 outs. Pierce, you weren't around for this conversation, but me and Ryan were talking about guys that could potentially end up leading in the RBI category, taking over Joey Kramer's spot. And it ended up being Camden Hayslip over the past week. 13 RBIs, and he is now leading this team in PEL play with 18 runs batted in.
Yeah, the 5 home runs will do it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a 2-run home run last night at Lincoln, helping supply 2 of the 9 runs that the Packers were able to produce. Takes the 0-2 fastball away. Got an opportunity now with Maloney in scoring position to pick up RBI 19, and if Castillo makes a mistake in this 2-strike count, maybe Hayslip can leave the yard, make it 20 RBIs in PEL play. Fastball up and away. The count goes even to 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Maloney over at second. Castillo trying to find that put-away pitch here against a left-handed hitter. Not easy to do. Hayslip fouls off the first 2-2 offering, and we'll do it again in just a moment.
You know, I got to say, I think that this stadium or this park is great for a lefty hitter. Because when you got the power going to the right field, you don't have the short field. It's going left just to block it out. You can easily still get a ball over as a lefty, you know.
You're definitely right. We saw Hayslip with a big double off the left field fence last week. For now, he does go down swinging on the changeup. Well done by Castillo, pulling the string. Fired up as well as he heads to the dugout. Down 3 runs, the Prune Packers still up as we head to the 6th.
Sounds great. Beautiful community band. Coming to pitch for the Prune Packers from Santa Clara, number 35, Caden Wooster. Leading off the top of the 6th inning for the Potters, left fielder number 9, Will Lindbergh.
Another relief pitcher for the Prune Packers has entered. This time it's going to be Elliot Jocelyn, who's currently in the portal out of Fairfax, California. Also boasting a 1-0 record with a 1.12 ERA through his 4 appearances. This will be his 5th. 8 innings of work in conference play to go along with 14 strikeouts to just 5 walks. Does a great job attacking the zone, as do so many of these Packer pitchers. Just barely missing below the zone at 91. Another fastball missing away, a 2-0 count. Pierce. Here's that height that works pitching. Jocelyn listed at 6'6", so this is maybe what it would have looked like if you stuck with it and decided to go to the pitching route.
You know, it really does. And I can tell you one thing, I do not want to be in the batter's box right now hitting against this guy. I'll tell you that.
See how Lindbergh fares. Most of the opponents of the Packers so far have not wanted to be in the box against Jocelyn. He's done a great job coming in, preserving leads. His last 2 outings, 6 strikeouts in 2 innings of work against the Mudcats, 5 strikeouts in 3 innings of work against the Kings. But what do you know? The theme continues. Guys who don't tend to give away free passes continue to do so to this evening.
Yeah. I think if I were in the position, I probably would not have walked him there, but, you know, I'm playing.
No, it was always my favorite when I was playing, and you're out there in the field and your pitcher walks a couple guys in a row, and then you go, hey, throw some strikes, and then they just give you that look. They're like, what do you think I'm trying to do?
Exactly. You got to have that good team banter, though. That's how you build a little bit of team chemistry, you know. Got to be able to bounce off your guys.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I didn't stop telling them to focus on throwing strikes. I continued to tell every single pitcher that I was playing behind that they need to start throwing strikes if they walk a couple guys. But they continued to not like it.
Yeah. And then when you strike out, they probably tell you to, you know, hit the ball. You know,
exactly.
It goes both ways.
Exactly. Eventually, they stopped telling me that too much because they just realized it was kind of a common theme. Fake break there from the runner at first. Caruso tries to make the play, but it's going to end up foul, and tries to get the extra rep in there on the throw and airmails it, but no harm, no foul, or no harm because of the foul, I guess. Over at first right there, Lindbergh started to take off, took 3 hard steps, and it didn't look like a fake break. It looked like he just threw the brakes on because he didn't like the jump he had. See what he does here now with the 1-2 count against Cole Dillon, who's 0 for 0 with a walk and a hit by pitch so far today. Offering from Jocelyn, taken low and away. Good leave there by Dillon, staying alive and making the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jocelyn checking multiple times on Lindbergh, who takes off for second. Struck out, swinging the throw. It's in time. Strike him out, throw him out. Elliot Jocelyn's fired up. Blake the Beast McDonald's fired up. And just like that, you go from nobody out and a runner on to 2 outs and nobody on. Big time stuff there from the battery.
And that was a great throw to second.
Yeah, McDonald was ready to go, that's for sure. Give up that leadoff walk, definitely doesn't feel good, but then you're able to strike a guy out while stealing that leadoff walk. That'll get you back in the zone if you're Jocelyn. Definitely got him fired up. We saw a little bit of animation there from the pitcher. Letting McDonald know how much he appreciates him and his efforts behind the dish. Definitely not an easy day to be suited up as a catcher. It is incredibly hot here at Rec Park. Pierce, you dodged most of the brutal heat last week.
I know, I got lucky. I was down in San Diego, beautiful 82-degree weather. It was perfect. Got to dodge about 110 for 7 days straight. But.
I was going to say, really, 30 degrees cooler, that sounds awful. The 3-0 pitch from Jocelyn. He does end up walking another, so more uncharacteristic walks. It has been a little bit of a smaller zone, but those pitches aren't close to the strike zone, really. Kind of uncompetitive there from Jocelyn. We normally see better stuff from him with all the pitches in his arsenal, the fastball, the slider, and the change, normally a lot closer to the zone. But Chamizo does a good job working the walk and bringing up Cole Eaton now with the runner on. Eaton is 1 for 2 so far today. Swings and misses at the first slider from Jocelyn. A great chase pitch. Surprising to see Eaton chase after watching the guy before him walk on just 4 pitches.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised swing right there. That ball was pretty far off the plate.
I agree. Just goes to show how good that slider is from Elliott Jocelyn. Then he freezes him with the fastball. I'm not surprised to see Eaton take a little bit of a walk out of the box right there, kind of regroup. You know he's capable of much better at the plate. He's done so far this summer, batting .227. Not many strikeouts either, but it's going to go down swinging on the off-speed there from Jocelyn. His second strikeout of the day preserves the 3-0 lead for the Pack. Griffin, Snyder, and Pierce Rexford are here with you at Rec Park.
Is the game-winning pitcher 2012. Community band sounds fantastic. New pitcher, by the way, for the Potters, number 10, Micah Marquez. Leading off, bottom of the 6th inning for the Prune Packers, University of Michigan, third base number 21, Cole Caruso.
Cole Caruso going to lead things off in the home half of the 6th, but he's not going to be facing Ryan Castillo, whose day is done after 5 innings of 4-hit, 3-run baseball with 5 strikeouts. It was a great outing from Castillo overall, a quality start for sure. But in that 3rd inning, a couple walks and a few wild pitches just got away from him. Pierce mentioned it an inning ago. That's what's allowed the Pack to get out to this 3-0 lead. But now pitching, it's going to be Micah Marquez. Freshman standing at 6 foot, 170 out of St. Helena, California. Starts Caruso off with a called strike 1. Then Caruso fouls off the next one. Marquez is 3-1 with a 3.6 ERA. This will be his 9th appearance. Recorded 15 innings, 8 strikeouts. More of a guy who pitches to contact, but does it well. And only 4 walks in those 15 innings. Ahead of Caruso early, 0-2. Leaves the slider just low and away. Great take there from Caruso. A big league take there, I would argue. Goes after the 1-2, lifts it into center. A beat on it for the Volunteer. Cole Eaton out in center, who puts it away for Marquez's first out of this outing, the first out of the home half of the 6th. Now the left-handed hitting Alex Leopard is going to step into the batter's box. Currently 0 for 2 today, but coming into today was .375 over the past week, just joining that part of the lineup ahead of him that's been so hot over the last week. Helped the Packers bounce back from a couple losses they suffered a little over a week ago now, a week and a half ago, that weekend that saw them lose a couple games, one against Medford and then one at home against the West Coast Kings, which is definitely tough to deal with after such a long break on the road, getting back not until early the next morning, and then you suffer a tough one while fatigued against the Kings. Looking to make it a full week of wins, though, for the Pack. Their last loss came on the 4th in non-league play against Petaluma. Other than those 3 losses, though, 20-plus wins for this Prune Packers squad. They have been so good so often. Speaking of so good, great change-up there from Marquez. Pulled the string on it.
Yeah, and had Leopard way out in front. That was a great pitch by Marquez.
Two breaking ball just upstairs, broke in late. Surprised we didn't see a called strike 3 there. Maybe not just fooling Leopard, but also fooling our home plate umpire. The full count offering. This fastball misses up and away. Marquez early on in this outing, living in the mid-80s with the fastball, right around 85, a little above and a little below. But he walks Leopard on the full count. Leopard might have gotten away with that 2-2 take. But either way, he's going to reach with 1 out and set the table for Jake Tatum.
Let's just say Leopard is happy that it's not Trackman that is calling the pitches strikes and balls, because that was in the strike zone, I think.
Yeah, he's enjoying the human element of the umpire. So Tatum, after a couple takes, starts off the count 1-1 against Marquez. Marquez is yet to pitch against the Pack. He's also hit a little bit, 0 for 5 in his 5 at-bats, but a couple of walks. So the two-way man doing a little bit of everything for the Lincoln squad. Two-one pitch, breaking ball misses inside. Good take there from Tatum. Doesn't fall for the front door, and now he's in the driver's seat. A 3-ball, 1-strike count, an opportunity to find something to drive. He's going to end up leaving the fastball low and away and draws a walk. And just like that, the Prune Packers working with some firepower now, bringing McDonald to the plate. So up now, it's going to be Beast Blake McDonald. Takes the first one inside. He is 0 for 2 so far today. Flew out to right in the second, struck out in the fourth. It's his first time getting in-game at-bats this summer. We like to give those guys a little bit of leeway, take their time to get back into the groove of things, but definitely wouldn't hurt if McDonald could get things going now with the runner in scoring position.
Yeah, for sure. And he needs, I don't know if that nickname is what you gave him or if that's his nickname, but he needs to live up to his nickname with this at-bat.
I was going to get into that story. So Blake lifts this one into center. On it is Cole Eaton, who puts it away for the second out. The second out that Eaton has taken in this inning, and the story of the Beast nickname will have to live to see another day, Pierce. Robbie Hamchuk steps up with 2 on and 2 out. No, the nickname is something that comes from the past. I obviously didn't give it to him in his first game of the summer randomly. I go back with Blake. He spent last year at Arizona, but the year before at St. Mary's with me. So knew a lot about Blake. Spent 2 years playing fall ball with him. Spent 1 season calling games for him in the spring. But Hamchuk is up now. Another guy who's been a Prune Packer for a long time. He gets ahead of Marquez 1-0. Another one is lifted into center, and another one that Colt Eaton has a beat on and puts away all 3 outs here in the home half of the 6th. The Packers trying to hold on to this 3-run lead for 3 more innings.
Last call, beer, wine, and merchandise. They close at the end of the 7th inning. The community band is here. We all feel good. Thank you. Leading off the top of the 7th inning. Second base number 12. Here's Derik Eaquinto.
The 7th is underway. Elliot Jocelyn still on the bump for the Packs. Starts off with a ball on the outside part to Caius Gargett. Gargett fouls off the 1-0. It's a great spot to start in the lineup for Lincoln. Pierce, you were sitting with me earlier when I mentioned how often he gets on base and how helpful that could be for the Lincoln lineup to set the table for the top, especially to lead off the 7th. Does swing and miss on the off speed from Jocelyn. He's done such a good job with multiple pitches so far. Doing a good job keeping the Potter bats off balance. One-two from Jocelyn. Misses upstairs at 90 on the fastball. He's been in the 90 to 92 range. That low 90s fastball coming from that 6'6 frame. Not only a 6'6 frame, but also a lanky one at that. It's definitely not an easy fastball to hit. Goes downstairs with the off speed, and the count goes full. Big payoff pitch here against Gargett. If you're Lincoln, you're chasing 3 runs with 3 innings to play. You want your leadoff man to get on as much as possible to chip away. And that's exactly what he does. Takes the fastball 58 feet
Now batting for the Potters.
for ball 4. And
16,
great job setting the table for the top part of the lineup.
Yeah, you mentioned it, Griffin. He gets on base a lot, and here we go, another example of it. It's a great thing. Right now they're down three runs. Got to get them started somehow.
Yeah, makes it 17 reaches for Gargett in 28 plate appearances. Exactly what you wanted to see if you're the left-handed hitter. So up now, the switch hitting J.R. Freely, who's walked 3 times today, stole a base in the first, but couldn't come around to score any of those opportunities. Packers have done a great job leaving runners stranded in scoring position, and overall, there have been 8 runners left on base by this Lincoln lineup, and they're a good hitting group. You would think that eventually they're going to end up with one of those timely hits that puts them on the board. 1-1 from Jocelyn, misses outside, and Freethy gets ahead 2 balls and a strike. He's done a great job staying patient so far. He's taken the lead in PEL play and walks on the squad with 14 now this summer. On the move is Gargett. The throw from McDonald is in time. He catches him stealing once again. Do not run on Blake the Beast McDonald.
Now I see the nickname. That's the Beast right there. There he is behind the plate.
Now I'll take a moment to dive into that nickname. Blake and I both arrived to St. Mary's at the same time my freshman year. I was there starting as a freshman. Blake was a transfer from local to here, Santa Rosa Junior College, as Freethy fouls off the 3-1 and the count goes full. But Blake went around and called everybody Beast. Everybody was Beast. He made it a lot easier with a bunch of new guys as well. You don't need to remember all their names. And then we got into asking Blake about why he calls everybody Beast, and he said he's just kind of always done it. Freethy fouls off another full count pitch. But he said he's just kind of always done it, and it sticks, and everywhere he goes, he ends up being called Beast right back, and that's where the nickname comes from. So it's kind of self-created, but at the same time, it is earned by McDonald. Freethy just continues to stay alive in this full count, but we commonly refer to Blake as Beast around St. Mary's and the baseball program. Has pretty much transcended his legal first and last name. Another full count pitch from Jocelyn and another foul ball from Freethy. Jocelyn taking his time this time. This one, firewood from Freethy. Caruso tries to barehand it, but Freethy is going to reach with a broken bat infield single.
Now batting for the Potters, number 7, Cade Parker.
That one shattered the bat there of Freethy.
Yeah, that sounded crazy. I don't know if it hit. I think it hit way inside on the hand, but that sounded really weird.
Yeah, it was a great pitch from Jocelyn. It just led to a really awkward play for the third baseman, Caruso. Such a slow roller. You do want to barehand that, but at the same time, made it tough to get Freethy. And now, right after him, Cade Parker is going to ground one through the left side. Just like that, the Potters have a runner in scoring position once again, and they are threatening with the tying run at the plate. I was listening to a Tigers game earlier today, and Jason Benetti, play-by-play caller for them, he called the pitch a chainsaw from the pitcher when he broke the bat.
Chainsaw. I like that. I haven't heard that one. Chainsaw.
It was the first time I had heard it as well. It's definitely a good one that I will be putting in the back pocket and using at a later date. This one bounces in the dirt, gets away from McDonald. The runners move up 90 feet. So runners on second and third now with one out for the 3-hitter of Lincoln. It's definitely a good spot to be if you're the Potters. Eli Small up at the dish, coming into today over the past week, batting 176. So he hasn't been hot as of late, but the Potters coaching staff still trusting him in that 3-hole. Freethy has reached plenty today. Parker's reached it a couple times as well. Now they're just looking to finally make the Packers pitching staff pays. This one fouled off to the left side. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. Small slightly choked up on the bat, looking to get something in play, but he ends up taking the fastball. Even he knew it. Cold strike 3. Jocelyn picks up his third punchy of the game. We saw this part of the lineup was up with the bases loaded in the 5th when Tucker got himself into a little bit of trouble with a few walks. Tucker got himself out of it with a strikeout of Small, and then also got Doyle, and here Jocelyn gets Doyle. Great job by Maloney to field that ground ball. Once again, escaping a jam. Great job by the Packers. We're going to take a break, stretch it out here in Healdsburg as we head to the home half of the 7th.
Horses and buggies. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and maybe the band was playing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Everybody rise if you like and sing along to the band. Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd, buy me some. Healdsburg Community Band. They'll be heading out. Big round of applause. Thank you, all of them, for a great night of music. Leading off out of the 7th inning for the Prune Packers, University of Oregon, number 5, Maddox Maloney.
So what do you know, Pierce? You're going to get to see your favorite player bat in just a moment. He's awaiting in the on-deck circle. We'll see if the Oregon Duck, Maddox Maloney, can set the table for him. We saw him do so in the 5th with that ground rule double out to left. And he continues to stay aggressive. I think that's my favorite part about Maloney's game. I like to appreciate little things like that, and the fact that he's so aggressive early in the count but still so successful just goes to show he goes up to the dish looking to hit, and he does a good job of it. And he also stays patient right there, leaves the 0-1 fastball off the outside corner. Just a moment ago, did a good job on a little bit of an in-between hop on that ground ball to retire Doyle, get the Packers and Jocelyn out of the jam. Maloney drives this one deep to left center, going back off the scoreboard in left center. The field umpire is ruling it a home run. Maloney is sprinting to third, but it is going to be a home run. You can indeed book it a round trip for Maddox Maloney. That one definitely would have gone out right there, Pierce.
For sure. That's like in basketball when you shoot a shot and it hits off the backboard first. That one definitely hit off the backboard. That would have gone out.
409 feet off the bat of Maloney as well. He got a hold of that one at 98 off the bat. We'll see if Connor Sharpio can make it back-to-back. He steps in now. He's 1 for 3 so far today, but that single up the middle in the 3rd, at least early on, was a big difference maker. Helped the Packers get on the board early, really setting the tone. Since then, they've just held on to the lead with some stellar shutout pitching. One-0 slider, misses low and away, a 2-ball, no strike count. It's pretty often, Pierce, a lot of us will sit here and say, why is that home plate meeting taking so long between the coaches and the umpires? Let's get this show on the road. But it's for situations like that. You got to know all the little
ins and outs.
Yeah, the ins and outs of the ballpark. Exactly. You got to know every single part of it. And right there, it came into play. And your boy Connor Sharpio reaches on a 4-pitch walk to follow Maloney. Continuing a strong offensive inning already here in the 7th for the Pack. We're also finding ourselves in the blind inning here.
That sun just dropped right below the top of the dunk, or top of the stand. It's blinding.
Yeah, it's getting us pretty good right now. Good slider there to start Kramer for a called strike one. Maybe that was the conversation that Eli Small just had with his pitcher. Don't be afraid to go to the breaking ball to get into the strike zone. Get over, get ahead, find your stuff. And he goes to the fastball, which misses up. Seems like the one place you don't want to be, Pierce, in this strike zone is up high. Not going to get a lot of called strike calls from our home plate umpire today. Kramer lines this one into left. It's down for a base hit. Sharpio is going to go first to third. The throw from left, tough to see from the sun. Freethy wasn't able to come up with it. Good base running there from Connor Sharpio.
I don't know, yeah, either good base running or real lucky. Because if that got caught, I think Sharpio would have been tagged out.
The throw was definitely going to be in time, but with that sun, it makes it incredibly tough for Freethy to make the play. You can see Freethy kind of pointing at the sun, letting everybody know. That's going to do it for Micah Marquez's day. The head coach for the Lincoln Butters is going to come out, make a change. Doesn't like what he's seeing from the right-hander, and he wants to keep this at just a 4-run ball game. So we're going to step away for a moment here in the home half of the 7th. We'll be back with the new reliever and the rest of the action after this.
Coming to pitch for the Butters. Pitching number 18, Andrew Ballantine.
The new arm in relief is going to be the southpaw Andrew Ballantine. We were debating between Ballantine and Ballantine. I'm going to go with Ballantine for now. The left-hander out of Fresno State currently has a 5.28 ERA through 8 appearances. This is his 9th. 13 strikeouts to 7 walks. Hayslip lifts this one deep to right field. Going back, Doyle. Can't tell what's happened. Hayslip is still rounding the bases. Field ump is going out to check what happened.
Did it go out?
I mean, for now, it's going to be a home run for Camden Hayslip. We don't know where the ball is, though. It is a home run. Camden Hayslip, he's already scored, but it's a home run out to right. Tough break there for Jacob Doyle. He had a beat on it. It looked like maybe it was in the glove, and then he collided with the fence, and it just happened to land on the other side, and Camden Hayslett continues his hot streak. Also want to note, it's good to see Doyle was up and walking around. He was on the ground for a moment. He is squatting out in right field now, but I think he's okay and good to continue, so that's always good to see. Want to talk about that first and foremost. Yeah, Small wants to check on him, make sure he's good to continue. Checking out that glove hand arm, and I think that's what was hit that led to the ball being jarred loose over the fence and right. I'm going to do another different sport analogy here, Pierce. That was like a wide receiver being led over the middle. He went chasing after that ball, and the fence took him out. A 3-run home run for Camden Hayslett.
Yeah, going at full speed and running straight into a fence never feels very good.
Wouldn't think so.
In my defense, I pressed the button.
Ballantine just